You know what they say? They say that war is now no longer being fought with soldiers and weapons, but it is being fought with algorithms, with AI, and with cyber warfare. As digital frontiers become the new battlegrounds, defense strategies are also being redefined in real time. And this session, it is going to unpack the game-changing tech that is now shaping the future of security, where data is critical, as defense systems, of course, are rewriting the rules of global power. Ladies and gentlemen, we're absolutely delighted that we have here with us this evening the 26th Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Dinesh Tripathi, PVSM, AVSM, NM. Let me first please tell you a little more about him before he joins us onto the stage. Admiral Tripathi is an alumni of Sainik School, Rewa, in the state of Haryana and National Defense Academy, as we all know as the NDA. He specializes in communication and electronic warfare. His illustrious career includes commanding INS Vinash, INS Kirch, and INS Trishul. During the 2004 tsunami, he played a very pivotal role in humanitarian assistance as well as disaster relief operations, earning recognition from the President of Sri Lanka. Admiral Tripathi is known for consistently demonstrating technical excellence as well as strategic vision. He's modernized operations, enhanced efficiency, fostered a culture of technological advancements in the Navy. His leadership has promoted a collaborative environment where problem solving and continuous learning thrive. He spearheaded initiatives like Operational Data Framework and electronic annual confidential reports, significantly improving efficiency as well as transparency. A recipient of the Param Vishisht Seva Medal, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Nau Sena Medal, Admiral Tripathi is also a distinguished graduate of the Defense Services Staff College and the U.S. Naval College, where he also won the prestigious Robert E. Bateman International Prize. The most recent feathers in his hat are also loaded, which are the two special task forces that he has created as the Chief of Naval Staff, which is focused on research as well as innovation towards a future of technological excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming onto our stage the 26th Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, PVSM, AVSM, NM. Also, to host this session, we have with us Amit Chadha, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, L&T Technology Services. Thank you.
So as they were introducing you, I thought that they had gotten to the whole session and they had ended it, and this ended with my introduction. They could have very well said that I work with you and for you today. So as we start, first of all, the Indian Navy's legacy as a guardian of national security and a driver of progress is a source of immense pride. Not just that, we have an audience today of industry leaders, distinguished guests, but more than anything else, before I start, sir, on behalf of all the people here, on behalf of Nasscom, we'd like to appreciate what you, your team, the entire armed forces does for the nation, keeping us safe, keeping us secure, and helping us continue to deliver. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go right to questions. Sir, in today's era where technology is rewriting the rules of warfare, from hypersonic weapons to software becoming a primary weapon and autonomous systems proliferating, How, in your view, is technology fundamentally transforming the maritime battle space?
Thank you very much. First of all, I'm really grateful to Ms. Frisha for such generous induction. I hope I've got the name right. Uh, it is indeed a pleasure to be here at the Nasscom Technology and Leadership Forum. I've been told I'm the first in uniform for some years, so that makes me an outlier, a sort. All of you have been conducting this seminar for, I think, close to 3 decades, if I'm not wrong. And since morning today, you have been hearing, listening, talking all about technology. And here I am, who is not well versed in technology, but I'll try my best. So thank you very much for inviting me and being made a part of this wonderful forum. I want to really congratulate the Nasscom for what you have done to the country in terms of the software and services. You are the mavericks, so to say. I have read the book by Mr. Mehta. He was very kind to present to me. We in the Navy, have got very close relation with what you do. Our hardware in terms of assets and platforms, sensors, etc., that make the body of that. But what actually runs those platforms are the software. And those are the souls of the whether it is ship, submarine, aircraft, radar, missile, gun, anything. So in that sense, what you brought in terms of software, you are actually the sole architect of your formidable Navy. So thank you very much on behalf of the Indian Navy. It is really, really very kind of you. Coming to your question per se, I know we are on time, so I'll come straight. I've been told not more than 25 minutes, so we will try and keep that schedule. Certainly, the technology has changed the warfare in a major way, and it has been doing so for many years, but over the last few decades, it has really gone beyond anybody's imagination. Some of you, if not most of you, must have heard the name of the Prussian General Clausewitz. And Clausewitz, for us in the military strategy, is what Jack Welch is to business strategy. And he had said that the nature of warfare may not change, but character of warfare will keep changing. And it was true today, and I believe it is true today. And I'll explain to you why. The nature of warfare continues to remain the same because it involves basically the use of violence to impose one's will on the adversary. And that has not changed from millennia. But the character of warfare, and that is how we fight, that certainly has changed, as you see even the World War II movies, World War I movies, and how we fight today, what is happening around the world, certainly all that has changed. So the character of warfare has changed, but the nature of warfare has remained the same. What has changed this? Of course, it is largely the technology. And I'll give you some examples to start with what we call democratization of technology. That is, any technology which is developed is available to everybody, whether it is states, whether it is non-state actors, whether it is multinational corporations, individuals. So there is democratization of technology, and anybody can use that technology for the purpose he or she intends to. And here, I just want to give a caveat that many of the non-state actors have got more flexibility to utilize and imbibe that technology than state actors because of the processes and procedures which are followed in various states and our organizations are redundant for them, they don't matter for them. So we in the armed forces have to be ready, operationally ready to deal with that threat as well. Drone warfare has, of course, completely changed the nature of warfare, character of warfare, because They have made the battlefield more diverse. They have made it low cost. Satellites, space warfare has enhanced the transparency so much that anything which moves can be targeted. And it is as true on land as it is in the maritime domain. So there are multiple reasons why the technology has changed the character of warfare. We have also, you must have heard by now, the hypersonics, how they are making the effect in warfare. They have certainly made the job of the self-defense weapons more difficult because there is shortage of reaction time, and the speed which these hypersonics coming is making our life difficult, not only for us, but the armed forces across the world. So the aggregate of all that, what has happened in the past few decades, and especially in last decade or so, is what I call the changing nature of warfare, and I call it changing ABC of warfare. And A is the accelerated pace of change which has happened in the warfare, where yesterday's technology is no more valid tomorrow. And that is, I need not explain in detail. I can go on and explaining, but it will take that much more time. B is, of course, the blurring of boundaries, by which earlier there was a linear progression from peace to war. Now that has all gone out of window. There is, you have to deal with from cooperation to collaboration to contestation to conflict, and all have become a continuum. And therefore, you have to deal with all these elements at the same time, and anything can take preponderance over other things in a just change of a button. So we are looking at ensuring that we are ready at all times. And C is, of course, the use of commercial technology, the cost competitiveness which has come in, that where like example, drones have said, they are available for a fraction of cost than some large-scale weapons, and that has brought in a different paradigm to warfare.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. So in fact, on the C part, I will just say there's a word that we use in the ITS industry. It's called cooperation and competition. You will be happy to know that a lot of us sit on the Nasscom Executive Council. Outside of the council, we are at war. But inside the council, we are at peace, sir. Sir,
busy peace, yeah.
Busy peace, sir. Of course, yes. So with that, I will move on to my next question. Sir, I want to draw a parallel between the defense today and our industry. We are known for collaborating with partners who help build ecosystems that allow us to accelerate what we deliver to our clients worldwide. In fact, the ITS industry now contributes to 7% of India's GDP, as you're aware, and about 30,000 patents filed globally in FY24 alone. So with that, in that context, given the rapid growth in defense and deep tech startups, which are projected to reach 2,500 by 2030 in India, how do you see the role evolving in shaping India's self-reliance in naval defense technology? What policy or industry-level interventions are being pursued to accelerate their impact in scaling innovation for defense? Also, how can the ITS industry help you accelerate your just stated Navy's modernization efforts?
So long question, may I have a long answer? But I'll keep it short.
Sir.
That is a very pertinent question, Mr. Chadha. India is now having the world's third largest startup system. We are very proud of it. The MSMEs add, like you said, 7% to GDP, and they add almost 30% of their gross added value of the GDP. I call them startups and MSMEs as new mavericks in the system, and in a good way. And I have got, whatever little I have seen now in the last few years, I have got great expectation from these gentlemen and ladies who are doing some great work, that they will be the catalyst for our self-reliance in the defense sector. So, good luck to them. I have no doubt that if India has to become a self-reliant country, and I'm talking of the defense system, these people will have to play a crucial role as we move ahead. Now, several efforts are underway, which are there in the policy domain, which are there in the open, but I'll just reiterate some of them. Recently, at the Aero India, our Honorable Raksha Mantri was very, very clear that if India has to become a self-reliant country, then the private industry must take lead in defense manufacturing. And there are several enabling policies which have been given. So we are dealing with 3 lines of effort. One is at the policy level, which you, I think, asked in the question. A few, I think, weeks back, or sometimes back, there was a news item about the unveiling of India's semiconductor policy. Now, that is a huge step taken by the government of India, driven by the India's semiconductor mission, which will obviously the aim is to make India a manufacturing hub. It will obviously have impact on defense technology, and we are eagerly looking forward to it because especially a service like Navy, which is largely tech-driven, software-driven, we are expecting great rewards from this Government of India initiative. They say chip is the new oil, and therefore we have to have mitigating strategies in this era of chip wars. There is a book by the same name, Chip Wars. So I'm very sanguine that this new policy will certainly benefit both the civilian and the defense sector. MOD has earmarked almost 75% of our modernization budget for the defense industry, which is almost 1 lakh crores. And out of that, 25% has been earmarked for the private defense industry in this budget. So there is money now, it's all for you to take. There is a separate chapter which has been included on innovation in the defense acquisition procedure, which has been there for some time now. You must have heard of the IDEX scheme, which was brought into force in 2018. And that is facilitating a lot of startups and MSMEs especially to come into the defense innovation and join hands with us, all the 3 services, Army, Navy, Air Force. So that is another thing which is going on. This year, 450 crores has been especially allocated for IDEX scheme. It is not a limit, but it is given to for the IDEX scheme. Since its inception in 2018, IDEX has signed almost over 400 contracts, and I'm very happy to say that out of that, 200 have been by the Indian Navy. So Indian Navy is taking lead on that. There are several procedural provisions which have been made in the acquisition procedure, like spiral development, which has been the requirement from the defense industry that let's have this thing, and so government has agreed for that. Minimum order qualities was the other one which some of you have been demanding, so that has also been included, and many others. So that is at the policy level. Second is at the partnership level. We in the Navy certainly have reimagined our way of dealing with the industry. We changed from customers to collaborators, from purchasers to partners, and we mean it. So when the Chief of Naval Staff is saying you can take it, it is a naval view. We have set up a Naval Indigenization and Innovation Organization some years back, and that has now fully bloomed. And that has shown some great results in the Naval Headquarters. We are very proud of it. We were the lead in doing this. And under that, there is a Technology Development and Acceleration Cell, TDAC, some of you must be knowing, which is going to the industry and hand-holding tech development in the Navy. And like I said, we have already signed 200 contracts, maximum contracts amongst all the 3 services.
Excellent.
We have signed MoUs with 10 deep tech firms, 17 academia, and 14 industry partners in the last few years. And this is just the beginning. We want to be fully involved with you. We want to work with you, and so that you know exactly what is required by the Navy in which time frame. And that is the aim which you mentioned about. I think it was mentioned in my bio, this thing that we have set up some task forces under 2-star admirals whose job is to go to the to industry, meet with them, understand what technology they are going to offer in which time frame, and what is it that which we lack, which can be imbibed in our war fighting. Otherwise, we realize that many of the small firms, the startups, they have very little knowledge about whom to actually approach when they have got some solutions. So that part we are trying to address. At the platform level, the third one which is there, it is largely under the IDEX. Like I said, you must have heard about the DISC challenge, under which you could get grant of up to 1.5 crores. Then there is a Aditi scheme, under which you could get grant of up to 25 crores for the niche technologies. And open challenge, where you can put any suo motu proposal. It is examined at the Ministry of Defense, and then you are in business.
Excellent. So thank you so much. With this answer, I'm sure the CEOs in this room will increase the targets of all their sales teams that address the Indian market. Right? Now, so if I may move on, so building on these industry partnerships that you spoke very, very strongly about, how does the Indian Navy leverage such technological capabilities to safeguard India's expanding maritime interests and growing economy? What role does the Navy play in a growing and global India?
So that is, I would say, a very crucial question, not only for the Navy, but I think everybody sitting here to assimilate. And why I say this is because, firstly, India is, and India will always remain a maritime nation. We have got over 6,000 years of maritime legacy. We all are aware that when we took the pedal off, our feet off the pedal, as far as the maritime domain is concerned, we know what happened. And over the last many years now, I think the pedals again come back, and there is a lot of focus on maritime domain. Why I say this is because of our geography. Our geography endowed has given this liberty to become a great maritime nation. It was said so in so many words by our Honorable Prime Minister last January, on January 15th, here at Mumbai, when he commissioned or dedicated 3 state-of-the-art warships to the country. And he said that India is now on the verge of becoming a great maritime nation. Coming from the highest executive, I think it couldn't be more clearer than that. And we are really very proud of it. So we are indeed living in interesting times, and I see a great future as far as the maritime domain is concerned. And it is for us now to collectively to take our rightful place in the maritime domain. If you see the geography, the north of our country is landlocked. There are high mountains. We don't see any, great outward reach from that side. And I'm talking of trade largely. So if you look at the southern part of the country, all 3 sides are open. There are open oceans. And oceans constitute almost 71% of the Earth's planet.
Yep.
And anybody who's connected with water is your maritime neighbor, in a sense, that you could reach that nation. It may take days, it may take sometimes months, but you could reach. So he is your maritime nation, a maritime neighbor. And that is the kind of geography which we are living in. That is the kind of geography which our ancestors lived many centuries ago, and they did go far off places. So Indian Navy is making an effort to ensure that our maritime commons remain safe, because 95% of our trade today, and this is not how I'm saying, this is the concerned ministry's website says, volume traverses through the seas. 68% by value traverses through the seas. And the balance 32% by value which doesn't go through the seas is what you, ladies and gentlemen, do. That is the software and services largely. And how does it go abroad? It goes through the undersea cables. So whether you like it or not, all of us, the sea touches all of us. The sea touches every Indian. And it is not something I'm saying just because I'm wearing a white uniform. I'm just saying that the future progress of the country will depend by, at, and from the sea. Whatever happens there in these three words which I have given, by, at, and from. And you would have seen the current budget where there has been special emphasis on the shipbuilding sector. Special mention has been made at all kinds of briefings. So there is a greater realization of the maritime domain. So that is where the Indian Navy steps in.
Absolutely.
Your Navy steps in. I always say Indian Navy is every Indian citizen's Navy. So we are only the custodians. We run the Navy for you. And ensuring that there is an unhindered peace, unhindered development of the country for the well-being of every Indian citizen, 143 crores of us, we must have peace and tranquility in the maritime domain. Excellent. And how does it happen? By ensuring that whatever bad things happen at sea, they don't happen. And Indian Navy is, of course, one of the actors in that. The government of India has made the Navy as the lead for ensuring maritime security, which includes the offshore security and coastal security. There are other entities in the government of India who work with us, and we work with them very closely. So that is where your Navy comes in to ensure that the unhindered growth of country continues in the coming years.
Excellent, sir.
हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने बोला था, मैं ये बोलना जरूरी है कि जो समुंदर पे नियंत्रण रखता है वह सर्वशक्तिमान है. He who controls the seas is all powerful. And I think it is very powerful statement of intent and policy. And of course, it puts a lot of pressure on the Indian Navy, but we are ready for that challenge.
Thank you, sir. So very powerful. By, at, from. I will remember these, as you said. So moving on from technology, we all know that you are also at an inflection point in terms of training your people and building a futuristic culture. What role do skilling, upskilling, and reskilling play in preparing Navy personnel for the tech challenge of future warfare? It would be great to hear from you some of the lessons, leadership lessons that you would like to share and give to the future generation that is so engaged in technology.
So irrespective of what kind of technology we imbibe, we do believe, and many people believe, that it is finally the man or women behind the system or the platform which actually will count. And in that sense, we give centrality to the people in our training, in our equipping them for fighting tomorrow's wars, and not stuck with fighting with yesterday's wars. There's a gentleman who wrote about anti-fragile systems to tackle disruption, and I'm sure most of you are aware of the gentleman. We believe that we actually require anti-fragile sailors in the today's Navy, who should not only withstand the disruptions which are caused, but also become stronger or come stronger from it. And in this day and age of hybrid warfare, as it is now known commonly, we also are aware that we actually require hybrid warriors who should be part technologists, part strategists, and part war fighters. So that is the kind of mix which we are looking at in ensuring that our workforce for tomorrow is ready to face these challenges, not only in technology domain, but in other domains. Having said that, how do we do it? First is skilling, like you said. We make sure that our people are trained for the right job at the right time. You will be happy to know that it's almost now 20 years that Indian Navy decided that all our officer entries, irrespective of recruitment process, irrespective of which branch, which cadre they want to go, they have to have a B.Tech degree, so that every officer, I am older generation, so please leave me, but I'm from 20 years. Last 20 years, every officer who has come in the Navy is a B.Tech graduate. Some of them, of course, get 4 years course at the Indian Naval Academy. And any of you who have not visited, you must visit. I was a commandant there. It's I think one of the most beautiful academies in the world. Anybody who goes there doesn't want to come out from there. So you can visit and see, and we feel proud that there is your Indian Naval Academy, which has been built so beautifully there. So a B.Tech degree for officers. Sailors are vertically specialized in the system, whether it is a radar, whether it is a gun, whether it is a missile, whether it is a platform, whether it is a propulsion system, etc., etc. So what it gives us that we have a vertical specialization by sailors, and there is a horizontal specialization by officers for integration of the warfare. So that is the skilling part. In upskilling is largely by continuous learning, as we all must, and continuation training. And towards that, we conduct refresher courses, specifically to ensure that either he or she learn more about the system, or he or she must get upgrade because some new system has come.
Yes.
And then the last one is, of course, the reskilling in various new fields. As you're aware, whether it is quantum computing, whether it is space, whether it is cyber domain, etc., etc. There are many new fields which are coming in the warfare. So that is how we ensure that our workforce remains ready to fight the wars of today.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. So with that last snippet and maybe a couple of words, how do you manage the level of motivation and inspiration in your workforce?
Did you ask also about some gyan to be given to young people here?
Yes, please, if you can. I will also put myself in that young category. Give us something. You will not? Okay.
Okay, so I'll first start with your question which you asked. Then last me, if time permits, I will.
Done, sir.
So we in the Navy, and I think largely in the armed forces, we feel that Navy is not a job. It is a way of life. Because unless we have got that clarity in our officers and sailors, it is very difficult to motivate them to do what they have to do. Most of our officers and sailors, especially those who go to sea, live in very constricted spaces. A frigate of 125 meters, 250 sailors and officers, you could do your math. And unless they have the teamwork and camaraderie, they cannot work together. They cannot provide the desired end result, that is to win the war at sea when forced upon to do. Of course, they are doing that to ensure that there is adequate deterrence, to ensuring that we safeguard the national maritime interests of our country, anytime, anywhere, anyhow, AAA. Now, how do we maintain their morale? We have decided in the Navy that every officer and sailor of all ranks, all seniority, all age, if he or she knows why we are doing what we are doing, we realize there is the greater understanding of the larger cause of that mission. There is partnership, there is ownership by every sailor and officer. Most of the problem occurs when there is a communication gap down the chain, because that youngster has no clue. Why are you roaming around in the open seas for 1 month or 2 months? If he or she knows that this is the larger cause, because there is something which is impacting at the national level or organization level as a Navy, then we have found practically that he will be a partner in what you're doing, and he will come out openly and support. So that is one thing which we have done. At the senior leadership level, of course, we have to keep a weather eye on not only technology, but also on geopolitics and tactics, because we don't want to be surprised. We want to be ready for the future threats, challenges, and if forced upon us for the conflicts. So that is how we keep the motivation level. We have also got a wonderful organization in the Navy called Navy Welfare and Wellness Association. And traditionally, the Navy Chief's wife is the president. She's sitting there. I have to speak all this. I have to go home also.
We all have to go home, sir. This holds true for all of us.
The aim of this organization is, that was in lighter vein, don't take it too hard. The aim of the organization is to ensure that there is, when the officers and sailors, they go to sea, they are aware that the organization is there behind who will look after their family's needs. And that is exactly what NAVA does at the sub-organization level, supported by the organization. Because many times we may not have that kind of time and energy, but the Navy, they selflessly work. It is a voluntary organization, and they do and meet the families, and so that the morale and motivation of the families remain. Most of the time, the morale and motivation of an officer or sailor is largely dependent upon the morale and motivation of the family.
Agreed.
And if they are happy, you will find that guy is willing to do whatever you demand of him. So that is how the NAVA is doing their work, and I am very happy to say that it has been. You are running out of time. Yeah, I know you are telling me, so I'll do that my part. But just 1 minute to all the youngsters. Of course, this is a technology forum, so you will hear all things about technology. I mentioned it, that man behind the machine, etc., etc. So do remain curious about technology, but kindly don't be chained by it. There is much more to life beyond technology, so enjoy yourself. Don't lose your identity. Be an individual in your own self, and ensure that you make a difference. Keep some time for the society, because whatever you are today, and I believe in it, and I do practice whenever I get a time, try and give back to the society. Somebody, whoever you feel like that, just try and see if you can give whatever. You got time, you got money, in whichever manner you can help the society. I think society will be thankful to you, and you will get great satisfaction from what you have done. So I have no time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. With that said,
Thank
if I
you.
can please have you rise and give a standing applause to the Admiral.